Introducing principle number 2. This one seems to be fairly simple. You would think so anyways. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. And that, let's just put it simply. Don't lie. Oftentimes you get in more trouble than it's worth by lying. However, people lie all the time. And it's kind of commonplace. It's rather irritating. Hypocrisy comes about by lying to yourself and to everyone else, claiming that you believe in a certain principle and then hypocritically defending the destruction of said principle. For example, the first principle that I outlined, the don't be a douche, the don't be a bully. Well, take the subject of censorship. The act of censorship is a group or individual bullying another. Now, if I put somebody on block, as an example, I block somebody on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, does that make me a bully? Not necessarily, because just because I am no longer listening to you has not negated your ability to speak. You can still talk all the trash you want. I'm just not going to listen. Simple as that. However, if Twitter, Facebook, or whoever decides to ban you or put you in restrictions or put you in Facebook jail, or as it's called, or Twitter jail, or nuke an entire platform for orbit, that is somebody else telling you that you're not allowed to listen to somebody else. It's somebody enforcing rules that make no damn sense. And not only that, it's an authoritative source of a sort shutting you up for no apparent reason. I'm sure they'll give you reasons. For example, they shut down a current market trend because of hate speech, so they claimed, and a bunch of other inappropriate content or something like that. Not likely. Not likely. I'm not sure how you can get from stock trading to hate speech. But don't lie. Second principle. They're using excuses. Excuses are lies. Why would you lie about something unless you know it's not ethical, moral, or right to do? You're lying to cover your ass. That is the most common type of lie there is. If you do something wrong, you know you're going to get in trouble, and you lie about it. People don't like being lied to. It gets you in more trouble. Makes matters worse. I've experienced this firsthand several times. Decided to start lying because I was kind of under stress, and then I just broke down. Telling the truth was a hell of a lot more hard. It was more difficult. More hard. It was harder. More difficult than lying. I could have continued to lie and probably just gotten in worse problems than I already was in. So, the next big question is, if this is going to be a principle, how does one go about enforcing said principle as if it's an integral part to your psyche, I guess you could call it, your being? My suggestion is start with little things. It's real simple. It makes for awkward conversation, it gets kind of entertaining, and it's a lot of fun in my opinion. For example, if somebody asks you, and this is a very common thing that happens, "Hi, how are you today?" You know, you run into the same people in the elevator, going to work, what have you, you know. The clerk behind the counter, they always ask, "Hi, how are you?" Unless you're at Walmart, then nobody talks to you. Um, or Target, or any other big box where they go through a lot of people. But every once in a while, you get somebody, "Hi, how are you today?" You know, did you find everything? Well, you certainly can say the truth, and it'll make that conversation a hell of a lot more interesting. For example, when somebody asks me, "Hi, how are you today?" I stop and pause for a moment, and I think about it. How am I doing today? And if I'm unsure, like it takes longer than 10 seconds, I say, "I don't know. The day just started." Usually in the morning, that's what I'll say. "I don't know. Day just started. Let's find out." The common answer to that one usually is, "Okay then." And they'll get a chuckle. And then sometimes you talk about it, but it makes an interesting conversation starter, to say the least. Or if they'll ask me that question, I'll say, "Pretty miserable." And that'll make an interesting conversation. It makes it awkward. It does. People don't like to hear that, but I'm not lying. Would they rather I just lied to them and just say, "Yeah, I'm fine," when in fact I woke up with a migraine? For example, this morning, if somebody were asking me, "How you doing this morning?" Better than earlier. And they'll chuckle and say, "Oh, why is that?" Well, I woke up with a migraine. My head hurt a little bit. And it was on the left side of my face. I had to go pop in a decongestant and a couple of ibuprofen before I threw up. Other than that, I'm doing good. A little pain. Interesting conversation starter now, isn't it? But that's where you should start if you want to hold this as a principle of just don't lie. However, as Spock usually put it, I omitted a truth. I didn't lie. Lying is bad. But you don't always have to tell everything. An omission is not a lie. A redirection is not a lie. If you make your statements plain. In example of The Return of Khan, I think it was. Number 2? Wrath of Khan, that's what it was. Well, Spock said if we went by the book, hours would seem like days. And then he'd say it'd take 12 days to fix X, Y, and Z. What he really meant was 12 hours. He was using cryptic language, but he also explained his cryptic language. And with what I found interesting is Khan himself was supposed to be a super genius, so he should have saw straight through that. Hours would seem like days. Oh, so anything he says is going to be an hour? Okay, that's good to know. And it actually took more time, or less time than what he projected anyways. But I think that's the point. The concept of not lying is not an easy one to do. It really isn't. But you know what? What's more important? Being honest or protecting one's feelings? The best thing for leaders to do, and this is a kind of a leadership study thing for me, is to develop a trust between you and whoever reports to you. Biden should be trying to develop a level of trust with everyone he just insulted by calling them, what was it? Basket of deplorables was Clinton's insult. What did he call everybody? Chumps. That's right. Those chumps over there. Yeah. You're supposed to be garnering those people's trust so they believe that you're going to deliver on what you said you're going to deliver. And you're supposed to be working for the people, even though he said, "I don't work for you." That's kind of the most honest answer I've ever heard a politician say, actually. He doesn't. He's working for special interests, which is why he's enriched himself in politics instead of barely making anything. Amazing how these people make millions and billions, but are public servants. But they didn't get it from taxpayer money. Oh no, they got it from some other fashion, I'm sure. Anyways, I digress. The principle, don't lie. Easy to start with. Basic conversation. When somebody asks you how you're doing, be honest. Maybe that conversation is one you kind of needed that day to make yourself feel a little better. You never know. But hiding things like that, pointless. Pointless. Many a time have I lied about things, and it was the worst idea ever. The scariest time I've had to tell the truth ended out better than I thought it would. Let's just put it that way. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. YouTube hates me, so please pass this one around. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I've been on a blacklist for, what's it, 3 years now? Maybe 4? No. It was around the second purge that I went from gross to zero, so it's been a while. Anyways, pass this one around. Share, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, because why not?
How many times are you going to apologize to me? Don't make any more mistakes.